Good morning. It's been a while since we came down this way, but the earlier on the clock sun rising, even though it's getting later, but we have the hour gain from the wintertime change. So we were able to do this pathway again, and this walk here down this road. By the way, yesterday we were up here. This is where the cemetery starts, right here. And at least the first stones we were able to identify. And then it goes down past the second set of pylons and another. Let's see if we could actually even measure that. Maybe it's not as long as I said yesterday, but it's probably most of 200 yards. 2 football field sizes. So that's plenty of room for a lot of burials. A lot of people out working already. Trucks and cars and buses. Life goes on, the work of each day. They did a lot of clearing along here. They cut down some bushes. And further down as well, I saw one the other day. So that opens up the view. We got these tiny flowers, they're still coming, it's amazing. So my finger's really magnified there. And the camera was zoomed in. So those flowers are incredibly tiny. Amazing, amazing work. Owe nothing to anyone except to love one another. Oh, I owe this person a book that I have to give back to them. See here that they took out this other big bush. These things grow so wild, so abundantly. Owe nothing to anyone except to love one another. So we had an interruption of 3 days with the letter to the Romans, and we're still there. It's a long letter, incredibly dense with content and the same basic themes of the interior structure of our spiritual life. Look at this one as well, that really went to work here. But it opens up a little bit more light up there for us. You can see how abundantly that one grows, and those are the ones that have been cutting. It's amazing. But actually this is all, a lot of this stuff is dead now, it's cut. So we still see the verdant, but it's in the way out. Probably in another year or two it could block this whole road. Owe nothing to anyone except to love one another. It's interesting, the word loving the other is going to come up here a lot. And it's not exactly what we think it is, that like I kind of have to flex my muscles and work up and love the other one. It's actually a gift that we receive. A gift, an empowering through the presence of the love of God who is poured out into our hearts by the Holy Spirit whom we have received. And that's very interesting, because then we can find there the explanation why this heroic love has been so frequent in history of the saints. There is an extraordinary gift of love in parents for their children. And also in spouses, but the spousal love requires a lot of purification, because there is such immediate satisfaction for the lovers, physically, emotionally, in the love of romance and marriage. So it can be a personal ego pursuit, and it's different with the love that parents have to clean up a kid that fell down and got all messed up. You know, there's no immediate satisfaction. There's just dirty hands, smelly child, and so the love, in a certain sense, rather than having an immediate physical reward, is a physical inconvenience. Like Mother Teresa picking up a stinking person dying on the street with major damage to their body, wounds. You know, there is no immediate physical benefit as there would be from the hug of two lovers. There's just pure self-giving, and that's why spousal love then is a very challenging path, because there's all the satisfaction of the erotic level of love, which is so powerful and so dominant, and then going to the philia, the friendship love, which is also wonderful, to have a great friend, somebody whom I can trust, somebody who is an extraordinary support, somebody whom I understand very well, who just loves that kind of classical music and actually opens up windows for me to understand more, or who has this interest in some literature or some science, or has a great sense of humor, and it just matches my sense of humor. So there's a great mutual sharing, a great bond of friendship, maybe for a cause, like that new saint in Italy, and I forget her name at this second, and she was a fiancée, and she's the first one officially canonized, at least that I'm aware of, as a fiancée, and they were completely geared up to go and serve the poor in Africa. And they had already a great track record of preparation and service, and sadly she was run over by a car and she died, but she's already beatified. I think she's already canonized. And so there you have the possibility that already as engaged couple she had reached this level of sanctity, of the fullness of great love. So that's a challenge, obviously, for young people to grow then from the erotic is part of the love, the physical part, so deeply ingrained and expressed in all the richness of the human body. And then the friendship, which has such a flowering in humanity when it's well cultivated. And then the joy of the love of self-giving, that self-sacrificing love for the other, like the parents have for their little child. And obviously that love is also deeply rewarding. It's actually the total fulfillment of the human being to love like that, to love totally, self-generously, self-givingly. And this love at these heroic levels is absolutely, well, all of levels, it's really a gift from the Creator and from the Redeemer. And in Christian theology, it's understood to be the working of the Holy Spirit poured out into our hearts, whom we have received. So then with this kind of mature love, then we can understand the whole point of, let's say, a comparison with the law. So the law is expressed in the Ten Commandments is a lot of do not, do not, do not. So putting major boundaries to human behavior that will hurt the other. Do not steal. It's a terrible thing when you realize somebody stole something from you. It's very, very humiliating and intruding, lack of respect, dishonesty. There's so many things in it about being stolen from that deeply offend us. Do not steal. So we shouldn't do that. Do not lie. What a horrible thing is to realize that somebody actually, in the full meaning of the word, lied to me. Do not lie. And obviously do not kill. I mean, that's the epitome of aggression against the other. Do not commit adultery. Besides the issues of the dignity of the person, but of the person committing the sin, but also the offense it is to the other. So then Paul is commenting that these commandments, they're marking these boundaries. So owe nothing to anyone except to love one another, for the one who loves another has fulfilled the law. It's way beyond the boundaries of don't do harm. And then that overriding commandment, it's already there in Deuteronomy. We had it on Sunday for the readings on Sunday. And also in Leviticus, there are so many instructions, principles, commandments laid down to respect the other. You should love your neighbor as yourself. To love God above everything and love your neighbor as yourself. Hence, love is the fulfillment of the law. But love not just as a command in the sense that you're told to love. That's one thing is to be told to love. Okay, I love this person. Okay, I'll forgive this person. But the love that embraces the other in all of their weakness and misery to redeem them, to bring them up. And Jesus spells this out pretty clearly in the gospel then. We should remember that Jesus is on his way to Jerusalem with the disciples, and we know where that's going to end. And the text is very strong today. Great crowds were following with Jesus. And Jesus is not interested in the number of likes. He wants much more. He's looking for our total transformation, that we will be completely lifted up, transformed. And so he told them, if anyone comes to me without leaving everything, and this is also the reading we had on Sunday, expressed another way, to love God with all our heart and all our strength and all our soul and all our might, and our neighbor as ourself. You know, we meet it again there. And he uses the expression hating the things, but the expression obviously means that we couldn't hate this sunrise, you know, we love it. But at the end of the day, it's just a creature. And my heart has to be completely in God. I love this person, yes, but my total love is for God. Whoever does not carry his own cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. So we have to carry the burden of ourselves. Some people hate themselves. So we need that measure of love, but also to be able to renounce our weaknesses then. And he's saying, check out your readiness to follow me. You know, I'm going to build a house. You know, how much you're able to invest? Well, I don't have any money. Or I can buy 1 truckload of bricks. Well, it's going to take a lot more to build a house. So are you going to start off? Or are you going to organize a plan so that all the elements will be in place as you need them? And so Jesus saying, he's asking us to be very radical. Choosing to follow him is to choose to go down this path, to go up this path, to walk up this hill. You know, let's say I'm not feeling well today, so I'm not going to tackle this mountain, you know. On the other hand, Jesus is calling us, and the mountain is so lovely, and I want to follow him. Well, okay, then get your act together. Do the things that are necessary to follow Jesus. And the concluding line today in the gospel that Jesus says is so strong. In the same way, every one of you who does not renounce all his possessions, all, renounce, cannot be my disciple. And that could be a billionaire who will still be very responsible to do all the hard work of managing his resources, but it's his vocation to love through that. That's his vocation. He's going to love in very honest and effective and high quality management of the resources, so that many people will have work, so that many needy causes will have the support they require, so that much good will be done, so that new medical advances can be financed, because that person's heart is completely in God and not in the $1 billion. To renounce all his possessions. That's a big one. You know, you could say, okay, hey Padre, you did that a long time ago, 47 years ago, you know. Well, it's there every day. You know, there's so many things I work with, this Osmo, you know, the telephone. Our hearts can get attached to little things. And to walk that path of renunciation every day, to walk that path that's not where my identity is, that's not where my love needs to be. God bless you. See you later, alligators.